It has just gone 7 in the morning. I am out on my morning stroll. Got this lovely bit of water to walk along. But goddamn, is it chilly? I don't know if it's where I'm close to Harwich at the minute, and yeah, I don't know if it's where I'm used to those sort of warmer Cornish coastlines. But yeah, I need to start coming out with my jacket on for sure. Or maybe it's that we're sort of definitely in winter. I think it's a mix of seasons changing and my locality changing. And the fact that usually I just roll out of bed and just chuck on my hoodie and go straight for a little stroll just to get the sun in my eyes and move my body a bit. So yeah, I think the mornings of coming out in pretty much just my pyjamas are done for the minute. I need to put some warmer attire on, or just get moving a bit more briskly, and that'll warm me up. I'm just parked up across the road there, and here is a cemetery and also the ruins of a church. All that remains of the church is the 2 towers at either end. So there would have been a building in that middle bit joining them. That's disappeared now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, it was a good place to stop last night, overlooking the ruins of the church and the graveyard. So there you go, Mistley Towers. As soon as I got back to my van, I got my engine running and my inverter on and just got all the heaters going so everything could warm up a bit. And I've even got myself on a vest today. As, yeah, it's just getting a bit more wintry, or like I said, the locality that I'm at is just a bit chillier up here. So wrapping up a bit today. I've got an appointment with a tree in a minute. Well, not really an appointment. I don't think you have to make appointments with trees, but it was something that I put in my in my diary because I really want to go see this tree. It's not too far from where my cousin lives, and I'm off to see my cousin later on today. So I thought, right, this morning I'm going to go and see this tree because it just looks like such an epic tree. It's like an 800-900 year oak tree. So I was just like, right, I'm going to go and make a date with that tree and go and have a good look at it because it just looks epic from the pictures. So let's go find that tree. I've come out walking with my mug of tea, trying to track down this tree that I'm looking for. Don't actually know where it is, but I thought I'd just go for a wander and I'll probably come across it. It's meant to be quite big, so... Oh, do you know what? I think it's up here. Wow. Wow, look at that. That is one incredible looking tree. Let me spin the camera around so you can actually see what I'm seeing. There we go. That there is the tree that I've come to see today. It is a mighty, mighty oak. Look at the size of the thing. I'm just going to stop here a minute because I don't think I'll get all of it in a sec. The girth on that tree is something else, seriously. Can't even hazard a guess how wide that must be. It's wider than me, it's wider than 5 foot. Or tall, you know, I'm 5 foot tall, not 5 foot wide. But yeah. So yeah, this is Old Knobbley. I can understand why it's called Old Knobbley. What an incredible tree. The size of the thing. That is just epic. Look at that tree. It's just amazing. Look at it. Massive, massive, massive tree. This is probably where I should have come out with that new gimbal selfie stick that I've got. Would probably have far less camera shake and probably better views, angles and stuff like that, but I would just end up looking like a massive twat, wouldn't I, you know? just still can't do it. I do try, sometimes I do try, but I'm just really not a selfie stick kind of girl. I mean, that's a great tree though. This is the view from the other side of the tree. It's just so cool. It's got this really interesting like trunk. I think just where it's like so old, but you could probably like, whoop, tripping on roots, probably like climb up on in there. It's just mad. But it's still very much alive. I mean, this in a bit sort of looks like it could be dead, but it's not. It's like, it's properly alive. It kind of reminds me of yew trees. This like trunk of this oak reminds me a bit of a yew tree more than an oak. But yeah, there's just all of these really cool little nooks. I can see why it is called Old Knobbley, because it is filled with knobbly little bits. And up here, there are some little mushrooms. Honestly, this is one of the coolest trees that I've ever seen. It's definitely up there now with favourite trees that I've ever met. And you can just see all these like really cool bits. Like just where all like the bark's dripping back, and yeah, it's just amazing. What an amazing tree that's been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. I think it's like 800-900 years old, and it's in this like woodland bit. It's just surrounded by other trees. I bet this tree has just been the most magical playground for so many children. Hundreds and hundreds of children must have played on this tree in its time. It's just beautiful. I'd love to sit with the tree and like go back through its history and just sort of like see what it's seen over its lifetime. I just think I think trees are just incredible. They're just one of my favourite things, you know, to just sit with trees and just be with them, listen to them. They've got a lot of good wisdom, trees. Just in a lot of ways they know what they're doing. I think far more than what humans know what they're doing. I thought I'd sit amongst Old Knobbley's roots for a bit and drink my tea and perhaps soak up a bit of 800-year-old tree wisdom while I just soak in the beauty around me. So nice to get out in nature. It's just the best medicine. I love it so much. I feel like Old Knobbley is like the mother of all trees. Like, it's just so big, and when you like look at all the other like trees surrounding it, they're so small. It's like, I mean, I don't know if all of these oak trees that surrounding Old Knobbley are Old Knobbleys, you know, babies as it were. Maybe they did come from the acorns that came from this big old oak, but it's kind of is like it's its children, because they're just so small. It's like they're little seedlings compared to how big this tree is. And I say that, I mean, they're seedlings, but they're big old oak trees over there, you know, but they're just so young and small compared to this almighty tree that is behind me that I can't even get into like full camera shot because it's just so big. I've got to be honest, it's hard to walk away from Old Knobbley. What a tree, what an absolutely amazing tree. Just had a lovely bit of time just sat by it, just having a bit of meditative time really. I find forests are just a great place to just come and meditate really, just empty your mind and soak up nature. Oh, it's just incredible. But I have to make my way back to my van because I'm in need of the toilet. So there's actually a little cafe that I spied earlier, so I'm just going to go stop there and use their bathroom facilities to have a poo and grab a coffee. I mean, I know I could have pooed in the woods, but it's quite a popular area for dog walkers, and I just thought, no, my luck, I'd you know, get ready for the toilet and a dog walker would come, so I thought I will save any dog walkers having to see my arse this morning and make my way to the cafe. That's a cracking tree as well. Just amazing. Not as big as Old Knobbley, but still pretty damn impressive. well, I just got back to my van and I was about to hot-foot it to the cafe so I could have my poo, and I just noticed there were some public toilets just sort of in the parking area, and I just thought I'd mention it because so clean. I think it is like the cleanest public toilets that I've ever been in. It was just, yeah, spotless. So yeah, I highly recommend come for a visit Old Knobbley. It's in Essex. There's like this sort of community, sort of like sports centre place. There's free parking, great clean public toilet. Yeah, there's like a kids playground and like a sports field, and then you just walk across the sports field and little stroll into the woods, and before you know it, there's Old Knobbley. So yeah, highly recommend. Take a trip, come visit Old Knobbley, because it is just such a stunning tree. Honestly, it's up there now with my favourite trees. I think it's Old Knobbley. It's one of my favourite trees now. Knightswood Oak in the New Forest. That's one of the oldest oak trees in the New Forest. That's a beautiful tree to go visit. And I've also got some ancient yew trees that I absolutely love at a place called Knowlton Church. Yeah, Knowlton Church and Earthworks, that's it. I've been there before. If you go back through my videos, you'll see those yew trees. That's in Dorset. So yeah, go on your travels and visit some trees. It's well worth it. Before heading to the cafe, I thought I'd do a quick bit of gardening, which I know might sound a bit weird in a van. But a little while ago, a few months back now, before I left my sister's, I took some cuttings off a rosemary bush that she's got in her garden. She's got it in her garden because I put it in her garden in a pot, just so that I suppose I could have rosemary when I was at hers, and also before moving into my van I sort of sold or gave away all of my garden that I had at the time. Some of which I left with sort of friends and family so that then I could still use them. So with the rosemary, I cut a few sprigs off of it and just popped it in a water bottle so that I could have some fresh rosemary while I was travelling about, and it rooted, and I wasn't expecting it to root, but it did. This is actually one of the second lots that I've done, and I've just sort of carried them about with me. Some I've passed on to friends as cuttings and then left in their garden and sort of planted them there, and they've been doing really well, so I'm so pleased with my sort of like rosemary that I've been growing. So now whenever I'm at my sister's, I grab a few more rosemary sprigs, pop them in this bottle, and yeah, just keep rooting them and keep passing on rosemary or planting it out places, and it's just lovely because it means I've got fresh rosemary. And I'm visiting my sister at the end of the month, so I'm going to grab some more because I'm down to my last sprig. I've been planting out quite a few, and it just made me think, with this rosemary rooted, and I wasn't expecting it to, I thought, oh, I might try it with some oaks. I've grown oaks from acorns before, but I've never tried growing them from cuttings, so I don't know if this will work. I wasn't expecting it to work with the rosemary, and it wasn't my intention when I put that rosemary in the water bottle for it to root. It just did it. So I thought I'd try it with these couple of oak sprigs that I got from the woods. I don't know if they're Old Knobbleys, to be honest. These are by a different tree, so I just sort of, it's probably not that one, but it's definitely an oak from that wood. But we'll see. I'll let you know. It'll probably be a few weeks, but see if anything happens. And then I also found this little tiny sprig which was too short to fit in my water bottle, and I had this little pot. Oh shit. Just pouring water and compost all over myself. Yeah, I had this little pot. It did have a succulent in it, but it died. To be honest, sometimes with plants I'm great, but with indoor ones not always so good. And I think just where it was in the cab of my van, I think it perhaps just got a bit too dry, too hot, too much sun, probably too cold. It just didn't do well with it. So I had this sort of empty pot of soil, so I thought, oh well, we'll put that little oak sprig in there and see if it does anything. Again, I'm not holding out hope. I really don't know. And I'm not sure if it's the best place to grow things. Like my rosemary is done incredible in my van, it just loves it. And the same with the ivy that I've got growing in my van, that does well. But I had a little fern which I've moved just because it didn't sort of seem that happy in the cab of my van, so I'm just sort of moving it moved it into the back of my van. If it's happy there, great. If not, I'm probably going to give it to a friend to take care of, because it's not nice being surrounded by unhappy plants. You know, you want to be surrounded by happy plants. So if I can't give the little fern what it needs, I'll find somebody who can. Well, I give that cafe that I just visited top marks. It was really, really good in there. It's called Acorn Village, and it's essentially like a little village that's set up to help disabled people or people with special needs. They've got sort of like supported living there. They've got a garden. They run their own cafe and charity shop, and it's just lovely. So they've got this little cafe in there called the Walled Garden Cafe, and it was really good. Had a cheese and Marmite scone, which was banging. Really enjoyed that. And yeah, it was so nice, and I love places like that because it's so nice to support community projects like that. I love it, you know. I know there's a time and place for like Starbucks and Costa, because sometimes that's all that's open and you just need a coffee. But if you can get out to these little places where you're, you know, putting money back into really beautiful community projects like that, that's just fantastic. So I highly recommend them. I'll leave a little link in the description. If you're in the area, go check them out. And now I just got a bit of work to get on with. I was planning on doing it in the cafe, but the internet wasn't too good, so I thought, oh, I'll come back out, get a bit of good internet signal, and find a sunny place to park up, because I mean, I'm a little chilly this morning, so I thought it'll warm me up, warm my van up, and I've got this cracking view out the window of nice sort of watery bit there, a few boats. So I'm just sort of going to do my office work, as it were, in the cab of my van, and yeah, just taking the beautiful views.